all deployers and team members, I'm just whetting your appetite for a book. This book is fantastic. It's a frozen time period of Trevor and some other people's lives building cloudbusters like we are now. So people like Sean and Kerry Kariakos in Cyprus and Aham and many others. Just look down in this. Right, just for starters, let me come down slow. I'm going to post the link so you can read all this yourself. These are all the techniques they used and what happens when they deploy. Thousands of hours of deployments. This log is a written record of the technical director of Santa Barbara Climate Research Institute, Peter A. Lindemann. The weather modification process are based on, due to 20 years of experience and expertise developed by Trevor James Constable. All of the equipment mentioned in this log are devices that have been developed by Trevor James Constable. These include the Spider unit, used to either expand or contract the chemical ether in the atmosphere, the blue bellies, BBs, which are used to lower the etheric potential behind the units and cause an interaction with the primary etheric flow, as illustrated to the right. These units become active as the barometer drops below 29.95 and become increasingly more active as the barometer continues to drop. The MTs operate in a similar manner, except that they are always on the efficacy of these stationary devices based on the following: the primary flow patterns and the chemical ether and natural interactions follow anti-thermodynamic behaviours. We know deployments cool the atmosphere, but it's interesting, he says, as temperatures change, the effects of the translations change. But look at this. Boy, did they have some fun. 4 cannons, or bazookas they call them, look. Five bazookas on a roof rack. These guys were having fun. I want to go down to some of the others. Loads and loads of information you can see in here. Days, dates, times, deployments. There you go. Just 2 arms and a centre cone. A Spider unit. Backyard, China Street. SB11, 1990. November 1990. So 90, 2010. So 27 years ago. Nice. Some others down here. Just picking the photos out. You read it. We'll all learn a lot from this. And thank you for Thomas Brown for allowing this to be given. Santa Barbara, looking at the normal weather patterns, and then they go into different deployments. He says here, I spoke with Trevor. He's still working out procedures with his new equipment, and will take 2 more round trip runs on USS Mavi. Remember the video with the ship? It'll be finished on February the 4th. So amazing. There are some other pictures in here which I shall just pause and go down. So look at that. He said he instructed me to turn the Spider on clockwise at 15 revolutions per minute. That's very slow. In an assisting move, he was just pulling out of Honolulu, as he called. 10 AM. Reset 4 MT units at 122 degrees off magnetic north. Southeast. Turned on Spider at CW at 15 RPM as per Trevor's instructions. 10:16 AM. Storm front coming in from northwest is expected to dissipate before it reaches 11:30. So this is what we're doing. Light sprinkle here in Monte, I can't read that, Montedeo at 1000 hours. No rain predicted in SB latter time. So here's the intricates of all the deployments that they've been doing. This setting is for breaking the high pressure system in the South Carolina by expanding it further, intermittent schedules. So look at that, day by day progressions. Inches of rain falling, 0.32, 0.45, 0.71, at times 11, 1, 230, 4, 9, 10, hours and hours of records and deployments. Superb. Brilliant. Here's a list of the area, the deployments, rains, areas of deployment, angles they're deployed at to create rains in Santa Barbara. Now this is familiar. Sorry, it's on the this is 6,000 acres of silt, and they said they never cleaned it out because they never expected heavy rains. So it's full of silt, and here in Los Angeles, even then, times of droughts. And then when they deployed, Los Angeles Times, March the 21st, 1991, we've all seen the dams where they have to release the water, but because they never cleaned out below where the water level settles, and also part of the dam, they had to let the water release. And of course, it's Santa Barbara News Press, Pineapple Express backfire. So when the floods came in, they had a big problem. Houses got swept away, and they created the Pineapple Express. That's what we did 9 months ago for California. So I'll let you read the rest. Amazing. That's an interesting tool. A hydrometer. It says Jackie bought me a hydrometer for my birthday. Relative humidity 68% for hydrometer. And it says here, no rain last night, partly cloudy, barometer 29.95, relative humidity 57%. Consumer reached 50,750 feet yesterday, 26.6%. News press, rain still likely this afternoon, tonight and tomorrow. This is the last of a series of storms. Clear Tuesday to Friday, we will stand down for this storm. Now this is very interesting. You're talking about cleaning the skies, very clean, cumulus clouds, that's what we get, white cumulus clouds, high cirrus clouds elsewhere in the sky, barometer, etc. Sky clouding up again, dark cumulus clouds over the mountains. Spoke with Trevor today. He's not against us trying to subsidise our operation, in other words, raise some funds. He doesn't believe we'll be successful, as Trevor tried it. If we do, we should file with NOAA. Now they spoke to NOAA and even said we will predict the weather, and they sent information in and proved to be right. NOAA ignored them. He's going back to Hawaii on Tuesday the 26th and will be back on April the 4th. Trevor and I agreed that this storm needed help from here by using the spider, and there's a counterclockwise mode to help feed energy to it on its approach. Counterclockwise. We'll continue to watch how unassisted storms from the north tend to get cut off by the Morro Bay Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant. This is dead funny, this is. Okay, look at that. Santa Barbara County rainfall. So these have been deploying, remember. March the 26th, 1991. January the 1st to December the 3rd. Rainfall this year in Santa Barbara was 14.36 inches. Rainfall last year, when they didn't deploy, from January to the 1st of March was 4.7. So an extra 10 inches. Oh dear. Nice. So, final weather report. These are rainfalls that they've created through the deployments. Chris Malcolm, News Press, staff writer. Additional rainfall this week will keep runoff in the Santa Ynez Valley off and running. County water officials said Monday. A new band of showers that began soaking the county Monday night will continue today and into Wednesday, according to the National Weather Service of Santa Maria. Sun Lake all received more than 2 inches of rainfall during Sunday night's storm. The recent storms eventually could boost Kachuma's level to nearly 70,000 acre-feet, said Dave Johnson. So they had some nice results. These pipes here are what are called blue bellies. So you've probably seen Trevors standing next to them sometimes where they lay down in the field. And notice that they are deployed into the hillside as well. They deployed through the earth. Here's a picture of some of the results of their rainfall. Twitchell Reservoir east of Santa Maria on Highway 166 is trapping the Kiama River's flow for the first time in 5 years. Now, we did videos on similar to this. I didn't realise this. This is the LA Times on April the 2nd. Carl Ingram. Sacramento weather forecasters said Monday that a powerful storm system similar to the March miracles that helped cease the drought conditions is heading toward California and will bring heavy rain and snow to critical watersheds by the week's end. So they had some great successes. Didn't realise how much. Not as big. We broke every rain record, by the way, with our deployments over California. Absolutely. And the results came 2 days later. This is what he was talking about earlier. The storm coming in. H2O. Officials gush over deluges area. Cups runneth over. My daughter called me H2O, by the way. Fact. She lives in California. Key Central Coast reservoirs. Optimism is prevailing throughout much of the Central Coast area, as evidenced here by the buoyant reaction of the local paper after a storm. Recent rains boosted local water supplies and allowed some communities to relax stringent water rationing. Here's a list of the places, blah blah blah. Communities will benefit, and the reservoirs filling up. And the reservoirs filled up. And there you can see in the distance emptying the reservoirs. Gibraltar Dam and Reservoir, Sunday, April the 14th. Reservoir still 100% full and spilling from one spillway. See top photo. Boom. This one is for Kerryocus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've only got a bank of 4, Kerry. How about having 5? And 5 empties sitting on the bluff above Santa Barbara in 1991. Spiders, that's mounted on a these are great, aren't they? Look at these pieces of wood they made with the cones. And here's another one, just a twin one on a carousel that rotates. Now this is very interesting because we have photos and we see the sky beautiful blue when we deploy. And what does that mean? It means the sky is cleaner. It means the sunlight gets through and reacts with the atmosphere, and it also means that ozone is being generated. It also means that aerosols have been cleaned. Now listen to this. Trevors said, you've got to see the report on it, it's dead funny, and the video. He had a bet with every weather forecaster and scientist in the USA that on their meeting that they arranged for millions of dollars to sort out the massive problem of smog. Trevor said there will be none on the day and week of that meeting, and he was spot on. In fact, they abandoned the meeting because there was zero smog, and they'd been there every single year. In fact, they met in the worst place of recorded smog that kept on and on and on, and he stopped it. But Anaheim exposure to air pollution in the US cities accounts for 60,000 deaths annually and increases the risk of death among the elderly and people with lung and heart disease, researchers said Sunday. And he says the estimated 60,000 deaths attributed to air pollution account for 3% of deaths nationwide. 3% of the population of the deaths due to air pollution. That's what they say to us these days as well. But like today, we've deployed beautiful blue skies, some rain and showers. And for those people that question us, the first question they always ask is, yeah, but what happens to the chemtrails when you make it rain? Well, here you are. It neutralises it. Fact. It doesn't just wash it in the soil. Things like the aluminium, and even I've had 3 reports from people that have said when they deploy, the more gallons fibres that come down, those shiny fibres that start to entwine and actually end up growing in human bodies, actually start to disintegrate and go like a milky white and then dissolve, whereas normally they wouldn't do that. Interesting, eh? And here's the final shutdown. Turned off the spider, removed the power supply in preparation for a complete removal of all equipment on Saturday. This ends formal operations at the Gildea Resource Centre for this rainy season 1990-91 Santa Barbara, California. Really nice to see that. And there's the signature at the bottom. I encourage you to read through this. There's lots more in it. Brilliant. Now I've got a full record of our deployments as a team in California, and we're working on it again. We must have caught them with the pants down, because what you've got to watch now is amazing. I thought I'd chuck this in at the end because whilst they had success, this team has had the ultimate success all time ever in recent history of ending droughts. You've got to watch this. This is Fox News, and this guy says, remember the drought we've been talking about.
I mentioned the drought in California, and I don't know if you guys saw all of the snow and all of the rain that we had in California. Well, take a look at this. This is where we were on the drought in California last week. Now fast forward a year. This is the drought monitor going over the last year, and here we are. The drought in Northern California is gone because of all of the moisture. In Southern California has been greatly eliminated. We have more rain that's going to start on Wednesday to Thursday, so hopefully that will continue. Just a little bit of bright news out of Trevors, California. Into the Central Plains, we still have our ice storm. Where you see this purple, that is an ice storm warning going on, and where you see that pink, that is...
So, it's over. There you go. It's over! So there's loads and loads of others like this that show the same thing. This was the end of the drought and masses of rains that were brought. This is the whole of the earth, rains around the earth. You've got it on the coast of Australia a bit, you've got always at the UK, Scotland and all around, but look at this area here. The largest amount of rain on the face of the planet at that point in time. Just let me play there. Look at this. You couldn't write this stuff any better than we can see it here. This is a map of the world of all the rain taking place now. And look where the greatest mass of rain is taking place. Right where all the cloudbusters are. You couldn't invent this, could you? So, that's what we're capable of doing. We want those days back because they have really hammered the EMF and the rains around California. Sean and his team are working on that. I am certain with some of the new technology we're going to do, which is the spiders, by the way, which is what Trevor did, it's going to be incredible. I know it.